Man United winger Jadon Sancho has rejoined former club Borussia Dortmund on loan for the rest of the season. The deal has no option to buy clause. So Sancho will return, to Old Trafford in the summer. Earlier on, Simon Jordan said it's a good deal for Manchester United.
In this instance, I don't think he's a particularly great player. The fact of the matter is, I would view it the other way if I was Man United. I'm getting 5.2 million back. He's a dead weight. He's a waste of my time. He's been a waste of the time at the football club. He's got a history of behaving in this fashion. This is not something you two might say, well, actually, you know what? Maybe Ten Hag didn't know how to handle the situation. This is not something. Follow this player. He's done it before. He's done it at international level. He's done it for Dortmund. And maybe they want to put up with it. And maybe Ten Hag didn't want to put up with it. If I was involved with Man United, gone.
I don't think United should look at it as a good deal. I mean, they paid crazy amount of money for him. They're getting $5 million back. That's an awful deal. That's awful. Not great. And you could argue, right? And listen, I'm not trying to defend Jadon Sancho here, but there's obviously a player there, right? When he was at Dortmund, I haven't got the stats in front of me. Was it something like 50 goals and 57 assists?
It's crazy. I mean,
there's obviously a player there, right?
I mean, the season before the one that he exploded, he had 17 goals and 16 assists, and then he had 8 goals and 11 assists in 26 appearances. So it's one of those where he's gone to Manchester United and it just hasn't worked. I'm still yet to see... listen, there is a player there. I 100% agree there's a player there. I'm still yet to see it on the international scene as well, where he puts in a performance for England and I go, oof. Do you know what I mean? But listen, he's gone back to Dortmund. It made sense for both parties. He knows the club really, really well. Had a really good time there, successful time there. And maybe that little bit of love as well will help him again. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say less expectation. Well, it's not going to be as much pressure as playing for Manchester United, of course, especially in this period that Manchester United are in. So, yeah, maybe he goes back there, he does really well, and who knows? I mean, I don't think he'll make the Euro squad, but you look at that right-hand side all of a sudden, Bowen's gotten injured, Saka is playing so many games at the minute. Is there a spot for him if he goes there and scores a lot?
That's a great question.
Do
you think there is?
I don't know. Maybe he might have left it too little too late, but you know what it's like. Before major tournaments, people get injuries.
Let's talk about England, right? I want to get your view on England. We'll talk about your time at England a bit later on. I want to get your views on England and, of course, the Euros around the corner. Before we talk about whether or not you think we've got chances of winning the competition, what about chances of certain players making the squad? Jadon Sancho, had an awful time at Manchester United, just got a move to Germany. What do you make of that move, the fact that it wasn't working at United? And do you think if between now and at the end of the season he starts producing the kind of form that made Man United pay an absolute fortune for him, do you think he's got a chance of getting back in that Euro squad or not?
No, I don't think so. I think the German league is now behind the Italian league. The German league always used to be third, I thought, behind the Premier League and the Spanish league. I watch, like I said, I'm a nerd when it comes to watching different leagues and that, and Germany's the fourth best league at the moment. So if he goes over there and does well, I think he's expected to do well. It wouldn't blow my mind, he's doing really well in Germany. No.
Even with what Kane's doing.
Yeah, but Kane's done it in the Premier League, and Kane does it internationally. And Sancho struggled to do it in the Premier League for whatever reason. I told you the story about he was a wonder kid when he was growing up. He was the talk on everyone. I was in the academies at that time coaching, and when I watched Man City, he was unstoppable.
What age are we talking? Teenager?
Youth team, so under 18s.
Okay.
And he was incredible. He was probably a 17-year-old. Everyone wanted him. Every club wanted him. He could have his pick. He used to just dominate every team. They play Chelsea in the FA Youth Cup final, and he plays against Reece James, and Reece James got the better of him, which can happen to anyone. But he actually quit on his team in the FA Youth Cup final. He just mentally went, and I kind of had a red flag up against him then, and I was thinking, that's a bit weird. Like, he's got the world at his feet, and all right, he's had a bad game, but he's quit on his teammates. And
what do you mean? Elaborate. When you say quit on his teammates,
you could see the life had gone out of him. Wasn't tracking back. Kind of just give up.
Okay.
Just basically was mentally gone. And then you've seen his problems since at Man United and stuff. And I kind of sensed that as a 17, 18-year-old kid, and it's sad because he has got some talent. He's got some ability, and I think it is a good move. I heard you two talking about it, because there's a good chance for him that if he does do well in Germany, when he comes back to Manchester, there's going to be a new manager, which could definitely happen the way Ten Hag's going and the way Man United's going. So it could work out well for him.
Do you think there should be a new manager quickly?
But you don't have to answer that.
You do.
You can plead the fifth. We're talking about England.
No, it'd be nice though if you.
No, you don't have to.
I think there'll be a new manager.
Well, no one asked you anyway. let's talk about your cousin Erik Dyer.
Yeah.
Right. He's got to move over to Germany as well. What a move, by the way, that is to Bayern Munich. Has he got a chance if he, for argument's sake, wins the Bundesliga and the Champions League? Has he got a chance of making that squad or not?
He has a chance because we're not blessed with centre halves. We were talking about centre halves earlier, and we were talking about Rio, John Terry, Ledley King, Sol Campbell, Jonathan Woodgate, Jamie Carragher. That is what Sven and McLaren and Capello, all these managers are picking off. And obviously we worry about if something happens to Stones and Maguire. So if he does do well, then I think he has got a chance. I don't think he'll make the squad, but he has a good chance.
Mm. You mentioned Sven. It was in the news yesterday. He's got cancer. He thinks at best he's got a year left to live, which is incredibly sad news. You, of course, know him incredibly well. I would imagine you played under him. He's picked you for the national side. Just give us, some kind of outline of just if at all he made a difference to your career, what he was like as a manager. What was your relationship like with him?
I had a good relationship with Sven. He had a lot of time for me. He thought I was the missing link as a left winger. Obviously, that didn't work out. He was a great coach. But at England, he didn't really do a lot of coaching himself. He used to let Steve McLaren get on with it. Very pragmatic manager as well. He was so keen on the counter-attack, and that's why you see the likes of McElhenney, and he had a lot of time for Darius Vassell. Darius had a lot of caps for England. Suppose that's why he liked me so much as well, his pace on the counter attack. I think the press were hard on him because we were classed as the golden generation, and the golden generation never won anything. But you look at 2002, we lose to Brazil, who had Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto, Lucio. And we didn't even have Steven Gerrard and Gary Neville, who were probably two of our world-class players at the time. So we lost to them. 2004, we all know what happened to Rooney. I think if Rooney stays fit, we have a great chance of winning the tournament. But we lost on penalties, which can happen to any team. He loses on penalties again in 2006, and he's classed as some failure. But in 1996, everyone's saying what a team and how unlucky we were. But we struggled against Spain and beat them on penalties. So if that team would have lost on penalties, then we would have said, we'd be saying they're failures as well. It's just fine margins. And I always thought he got hard done by in the press, but he was a great man. And I really enjoyed working with him.
Do you think that's the problem? It's too easy for people to say that the golden generation didn't win anything, because as you said it to them, we've said it before on the show, when you look at other nations' golden generations, France had Zidane, for instance, Brazil had those three up front. Is it too easy and a bit unfair, as you said there, to say that, well, the golden generation never won anything, they failed?
Again, where I said about the Geordies, they're craving success, and our fans see England blessed with all this world-class talent. It's more that they're just craving it. And this is when there was a boom in wages. It was before Gareth came, there was such a disconnect from England stars and fans. They're not like it is today with social media and you can connect with fans. We were kind of shied away from fans. So there was that big disconnect which caused friction. And then, like you said, they see the wages going through the roof. You've got all this talent and you're not winning tournaments, and it just becomes frustrating because they're so desperate to win something because it's been too long, and it has been too long. So, I never blame the fans or the media. I just think it was, at that time, having all that talent, all them wages, the disconnect. But yeah, Sven definitely got hard done by because Brazil probably had their golden generation in the 2000s because they've got 3 Ballon d'Or winners all playing up front. We've got McElhenney, who is the last Englishman to win the Ballon d'Or. So,
talkSPORT Drive, super opinionated sporting debate, Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.